Well, long time no see. Max here again. Welcome back to the shop. This has been a bit of a while since I've had a video out, but due to ongoing circumstances, it's out of my control. Ongoing circumstances means we're still in the middle of moving into the shop, moving houses and whatnot, and that sort of carry on. So I thought, let's get a video out. So what I've been up to, the milling machine behind us here, I've been spending a lot of time getting this all cleaned up, like giving it a really good clean down in preparation for the upcoming repair jobs that we have to do to it. So we are going to go pretty well through all the oiling system, and we'll probably pull the table and the whatnot off. Might pull the knee off too, I think, and we'll have to pull the ram off as well. So we've got a fair bit of work to do on this, but this machine will be on another video. Our focus this video is on our Bridgeport, which will swing around and show you where we're at with that. As the Bridgeport, I had to disassemble it to move it out of the old shop. It was just an easier way for me to do it, which is no problem. I mean, a Bridgeport takes nothing to disassemble, you know, bugger all. So we'll go and have a look at that and see what actually we're doing with that. I did buy this humongous machine vise. I brought two of them, and what they're going to be for is for over on our tool and cutter grinder, so we can hold our bits of tool steel in for the lathe, and we'll make up a contraption so we can hold it on different known angles for tool grinding, specific tool angles. So we'll get into that. That's later on down the track anyway. So anyway, let's swing around to the Bridgeport. But just before we get to the Bridgeport, we've had, over the last probably 6 months, we've had a few channel stickers come in, and this is when we're in the old shop. Some of them, my apologies, I just got busy and they just got filed away, and I did actually, honestly, I forgot about some of them. I thought I knew there was a few coming, I'll wait till they accumulate up and then I'll just put them all on in one hit. So during the move, I uncovered them all, so let's go and have a quick look. Well, I'll still have to find a home for this board here. Oh, that's the overflow that went down onto my toolbox in the old shop. So we've had a few stickers came in, as I said. So first one here, Winters Machine Shop, Shane Winters over in America. He does some quite good work. You want to have a look at his the work he does on his horizontal boring mill. So yeah, every now and then he pops out a video, but yeah, well worth checking out. Ed Cood does a few little videos here and there. Al is a welder, pops out a few little videos there, some tips and that. This one here, no need to for a description there. I think you all know who this fella is. Todd over at Acme Machining in Canada. He's an automotive mechanic that does a bit of machining, sort of setting up his home machine shop. Josh Topper, yeah, mixed variety content machining. It's all pretty good channel. Foxberg's Fabricoblin. Now I don't know what happened to DJ. His channel seems to have vanished. So yeah, I don't know where he is nowadays or what he's up to. But it's DJ Foxberg's Fabricoblin. You'll remember DJ on the on the discussion, the ARW discussion. So yeah, that's a few latest stickers on the board. All right, let's head over to our Bridgeport. Okay, so here's our Bridgeport lying down on the job. So what I've done to this, as I said before, I pull it apart to make it easier to shift out the old workshop and into here, which not a biggie. So it gave me the opportunity to clear out, give the coolant sump a really good clean out. So I was pretty lucky really. I don't think it's ever had coolant in it, but it had plenty of oil and chips in it, and it stunk to high heaven. So here's a couple of shots of that. Right, so what our issue, well, was only a minor issue really, with the Bridgeport. When the knee and table is wound to full height, started getting a bit tight up on top there. So we need to take some measurements and find out, oh, excuse me, find out what's going on there. So we'll get some measurements across the dovetail ways there and formulate a plan of attack. So looking at the slideways, this side here is in very good condition. I can't fault it visually. So the issue is on the other side. So we get to this side here. The top section is perfect till it comes down a bit further. Let's get you on it. Okay, you can start and see it now. There is some minor wear and scoring down the bottom here. So let's get a measurement over a set of dowels and we'll see exactly where the what's going on. Okay, so ideally, I suppose we want to get a measurement 50% up the face of the dovetail. I've tried a couple of different sized dowels, so I ended up using a parallel strip and the larger of the dowels. This brings us up halfway. So if we come right up to the top, so this is our unworn section, so this is like as new. So we'll see if we can get a bit tricky to handle some of these larger mics, so you've got to be a bit careful on your readings. 265, 266, 2665. So that's 8.2665. So we'll come down quarter of the way, I suppose. See what we got. See what's happening here. 265. .265. So we've lost 1.5 thou here. We'll come down another 1/4 of the way. .266. So we're coming back out again. So we've got a slight curve in. So we'll come down the end. I thought that would have been worse. .265. So we have a 1.5 thou variation. So another thing we have to take into consideration too is any wear on this surface here will directly affect our cross measurement here, as it will make the dowel set just fractionally lower down and therefore further in on the dovetail. So it does look to me like there is wear on here, you know, obviously compared to up here where it's new. And see this area here where the scraping's a lot lighter, and down here, and also down here. So there is wear on there, but without a proper prism straight edge, there's nothing we can do to correct that. I would really like to have one so we could check these, but that's something we can possibly do at a later date. What my plan is for now is we'll just give this side under here a light scraping. We'll try and even it out a little bit, and then we'll have a look at the surfaces of the knee where it rides on that area, and we'll do the same. Obviously that's the gib strip side, so we'll give this a bit of a look at too. I need to get this machine up and running, so yeah, as I said, I can probably machine up a proper prism and straight edges later on. So for now we'll just do the minimum. So the big milling machine there is the only machine that I have which has the capability to machine up a good straight edge long enough so we can pick up on here and the dovetail at the same time. So until that mill's up and running, we're out of luck as far as that goes. In the interim, yeah, as I said, we'll just give this a light tizzy up with the scraper and just improve what we've got. And when this is up and running, we will make up some other tooling for measuring ways. There's other contraptions that involve fixtures for dial indicators and that. that you can use to get a more accurate reading than you'll get over a micrometer. So we'll go down that avenue later on, and plus those other fixtures we'll use on the other machines as well. So let me get this rolled over so it's at a good position. We can get in to our dovetail with the scraper, so I'm not groveling up on the ground and trying to do it upside down. As the rain comes down. So that was a relatively uneventful rollover, so at least we can get good access now with our scraping tool to get in to tickle up this dovetail. Absolutely pissing down out there today. Supposed to be helping the wife trim up some trees, so I don't think we'll be doing that. Oh well, back to our Bridgeport. So the other day on YouTube I was watching, as I do, Dean from the Air Cave shop. He was playing around with his little shaper he's got going, learning the ropes on it, and was cutting a keyway. And I left a message with him and I said, I'll show you the tool that I use to do it when I do them on my shaper. So just take the lantern style tool post out, So I just have a solid bar with a tool brazed in the end of it, just a bit of high-speed steel brazed in, or you can go this route, stout bolt to hold the tool in position. The reason why this is brazed in, apart from being quick and easy, the last keyways that I did on this were stainless steel blind holes. Yes, I had 2 of them to do. So up it goes into position, lock it in, and you really want the tool to the top. It just seems to work rather well. And put your part in a angle plate with a lathe chuck is one way to hold it. Depends on what you're gripping, but that's a good bar for doing keyways. If I make another one, what I would probably do is thread the end of it and have a lock nut on here, and it will just hold the bar that little bit more stout. So yeah, we'll get this machine up and running before long. I've just got to make a new base frame for it to sit on and give it a good clean up. So the reason why I have to make a base frame for this machine, apart from the fact it's on some really dodgy casters, and it's only on them for ease of movement, the designers of this thing must have been on some really good drugs. So you have the screw there to lift the table assembly up and down. Now, what's supposed to happen, you'll find most machines have the screw anchored at the bottom. That's where it pivots. Well, this one, that's actually the nut. So as the table lowers down, the screw pokes through the bottom of the main casting into the floor. So you really need to drill a hole in your floor to accommodate the jacking screw. Hence, I'm going to have to make a RHS square section frame for it to sit on. So something that caught me by surprise. It's yeah, I guess they do things a bit different in Brazil. Probably been on the tequila. So we've marked on here the positions we're going to scrape. So this is our widest point. So we've got a 266.5 thou. That's a 265, which we're not going to scrape there. We're back up to 266 here, which we will, and 265 in this last area, which we're not going to touch yet. So what I want to focus on, I want to do a pass. It's not on this surface, it's actually on the dovetail there. We'll start from about here, we'll go all the way along, then we'll go from here and we'll go all the way along, and then we'll do a pass here. We'll be 2 passes because we'll have to crisscross, go one way and then go back the other way, and then we'll have another measure and just see where we're traveling at. Bearing in mind there's a right way and a wrong way, and the way that the person's doing its way, and I'm doing this my way. Any resemblance between professional scraping or shithouse scraping and my scraping is purely coincidental. So I'll get this surface here. I like to go over this, blue it up with a Sharpie, as it makes it easier. It highlights where I've been, so I'm not digging a hole. So we'll get it blued up and get you set up on the tripod. I do have full intentions of going to a scraping class to pick up on a few pointers and hopefully head me in the right direction. But unfortunately the course is in Queensland, which is right over the other side of the country. So it's going to be an expensive exercise, but it's still going to be one that I will undertake. So as soon as I've got some spare time and there's a course opening from the guy that does the course, I'll be over there to do the course. Now you might be wondering about my strange scraper blade. Well, everyone that you see scrape on YouTube uses a carbide blade, and they're expensive and like they don't grow on trees over here in Western Australia. I've shown this before. It's the same material that when I did some other scraping on the lathe. This is a vane out of a hydraulic pump, and they are hard as the hobs of hell. So she's just sharpened up with a slight radius on the front, but I've also relieved the top of it so to give me clearance to get into the dovetail. So let's get this blued up and crack on. So we'll do another pass going the opposite direction. Okay, so that's the first So that's the first length done. I might just get a measurement just to see how much this is actually taking off before we do our second one. And going back the other way as we just done then, that's the first time I've ever scraped right-handed. So I've got to alternate from left hand to right hand. It's the only way I can get in there easily. Something else to contend with. Okay, let's get a measurement. It's just a bit of Kero. I have got a another oil stone ordered. Okay, we'll drop our pins back in. I'll go and get the mic. Okay, so this measuring axe is quite a juggle. I had to go and pinch the lock off another one of my micrometers, and I was just playing around getting a bit of practice off camera because it's a juggle. So what I found the easiest way was to preset, was to take a measurement and then preset the mic to where I think it should be, going by feel from the previous measurement. So what you've got to do is hold parallel and the dowel pin together. Use another finger to help guide the bottom anvil of the mic onto the center of the pin. Very gingerly we can get our size there. So we finished up after 2 passes 8.265, which is, get rid of that. So we're 8.265 here. It's brought us down to the same height as here, 8.265. So I'll just take another measurement now off here, and I think we should be in a similar position, hopefully. There you get the picture. It's a real juggling act. Could come down a couple of tenths there. Okay, so we're 2 or 3 tenths under 8.265 in this area, which it was still a good spot to be in, as long as we don't go like a thou under or anything like that, you know. So okay, so what we can do now is, we know that 2 good scrapes, 2 good passes ripped off 1.5 thou. So we'll come over this area here. We've only got 1 thou to take off this, so we'll just do 2 lighter passes, one diagonally that way, one diagonally the other way, and that should bring that down to 265. What we'll do then, we'll flip the entire casting back around and we'll take another set of measurements, but a lot closer together, and see how we've see how we're looking there. Well, we've got to bring this one to a close here because the card and the camera is about to run out and I have to go and find my spare one, which is, I don't know. So anyway, we made we're starting to make some good inroads on where we need to be. It was interesting to find the humps and bumps. So next video, we'll flip the machine casting on its back and we'll take a series of more detailed measurements, and then we'll know where we're going to finish it, and then finally we'll just do one finished pass entirely of the length of it for the entirety. And of course the finished pass will be short strokes, not the full length strokes that we have been doing. So anyway, cheers, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, and hopefully this card didn't run out while I'm talking. Catch ya.